people are away from their homes a little bit more often now. If we can give that comfort to somebody, that sense of security, that's what policing's all about.
Tonight, we are digging into holiday crime. With many people going on vacation this time of year, break-ins are a concern, but one police department is offering to check the homes in their town. Choctaw PD took Fox 25's David Chasanov on a ride along. So David, tell us, what was that like?
Wendy, it definitely felt weird being in a police car. I checked in with Officer Travis O'Daniel. He tells me he checks in with homeowners, making sure that everything looks how it should before they leave for their vacation. Now, let's just say a light is on in the kitchen, for example, that shouldn't be on. Then he checks in with another officer, and they stop by and make sure everything's okay. If a Choctaw resident leaves town for a day or a week,
where are we going?
They can call the police department using this number.
Hey Siri.
Officers will then check on their house for free.
I enjoy knowing that they have peace of mind when they go out of town.
Officer Travis O'Daniel says for the last 6 years, Choctaw PD has been asking people things like when they'll be back, what cars will be in their driveway, and if they plan on leaving any lights on.
If they told us they were going to leave a kitchen light on, but we see a bedroom light on, that's a red flag. So we'd like to know why that bedroom light is on.
Choctaw Police gets at least 3 to 4 calls a week for these vacation checks. He says it gets busier right after Thanksgiving.
We are a little bit more busy during peak seasons like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but really it can happen in the middle of summer. It can happen at the beginning of the year, just really any time.
He's only been checking on houses for a year and says he doesn't have any memorable experiences.
Which is a good thing, which means nobody's breaking into any properties in the city of Choctaw.
Officer O'Daniel says this service is just a phone call away, but never dial 911 for it. We have the number you should be calling on our website. That's okcfox.com. Reporting live, David Chasanov, Fox 25 News.
David, thank you. A crime that we have been following for months now is expected to become even more of an issue because of Cyber Monday shopping. The specific target is FedEx packages with AT&T iPhones inside. These typically don't require a signature when they're delivered. Across the country, including right here in the OKC Metro, we have seen instances of suspects stealing an iPhone box immediately after FedEx drops it off. In some cases, the thief and delivery driver cross paths. Back in October, Edmond in Oklahoma City told us they arrested these 8 men for stealing new iPhones off porches right after they were delivered. They're believed to be part of a national crime ring responsible for stealing almost $7 million in electronics. Now, in most of these theft cases, there's one question that investigators nationwide are still working to answer.
It's unclear right now how exactly these suspects determined where and when these packages were going to be delivered. Porch theft is not something that's new. We investigate porch thefts all the time. But again, these were specific devices that were being taken by these suspects.
In some cases, investigators determined the suspects had access to the tracking information, but it's not clear how they got it. AT&T said in a statement there's no evidence that any of their systems have been breached. The company added that from time to time they have to contend with sophisticated criminals trying to steal high-value items. And they understand how frustrating and stressful it can be for customers. So when these unfortunate events occur, they work as quickly as they can to make it right. As you prepare for your Cyber Monday packages to arrive, you're going to want to take steps to prevent porch pirates from targeting your home. There is a law aiming to hold porch pirates responsible. Fox 25's Jaya Brown breaks down the consequences these criminals could face.
With the rise of online shoppers and home deliveries happening today, porch pirates can take advantage of packages that are left at your front doorstep. Luckily, Oklahoma has a 3-strike system for repeat offenders. Not all packages that are delivered are expected to be received during this season due to porch pirates. If this does happen to happen, the first 2 offenses are misdemeanors with a chance at 1 year in jail and fines up to $500. And if a porch pirate is caught 3 or more times within a 60-day period, they could face up to 2 years in jail and $5,000 in fines. According to Security.org's statistic this year, Online purchases generate about 22 billion packages each year. And out of that, porch pirates have stolen $12 billion worth of packages in the past year. It also mentions that those with apartments experience more package theft than homeowners.
Now, as Jaya Brown reporting, scams are another big crime that we see around the holidays. This includes package delivery scams, where you receive a fake email or text claiming there's been an issue with your delivery. If you click it, your personal information or money could end up being stolen. Phishing scams are also popular. This is when cyber criminals craft emails or texts with malicious links that look like they're sent from retailers. Also, be on the lookout for fake e-shops. These offer deals that are too good to be true and utilize fake websites to trick shoppers into sharing payment information. One of the new trends we're seeing this holiday season is gifting crypto, but you might want to be extra cautious. In general, experts advise you to be careful when investing in crypto because prices are entirely driven by what other investors are willing to pay for crypto coins. But this season, be on the lookout for people who contact you by text or social media and try to offer you a crypto deal as they're trying to take your money with no gift to give.
You'll be requested to put some money in order to release the funds, and then you'll be trapped through finance or phishing attack, which will basically suck in all of your data through the device that you'll be using. So there's really like so many different vehicles on how you can get trapped by just clicking an advertisement of something that looks kind of lucrative.
Some ways to protect yourself: by using crypto exchanges like Coinbase or Kraken or Cash App. Make sure both you and the other party have an account and ask for their wallet address. Many criminals are also utilizing AI for online purchasing scams. According to Michigan police, the technology is allowing scammers to make their listings appear more legitimate. They're using AI to copy company logos, create fake pictures of products, and make fake social media profiles.
A healthy dose of skepticism could be your best protection. If you see something that's off, pay attention. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right.
When shopping online, you always want to look out for spelling errors on websites and watch for extra characters or underscores in the URL. If you believe you've been targeted by this type of scam, contact your bank immediately.
Your credit card company is likely to be able to recover that money for you, stop those charges, stop any more money from coming out.
You're also advised to report any scam to police as they can help track down any local scammers, but most scams originate from overseas. You'll also want to report it to the Better Business Bureau through their scam tracker, which allows you to see scams from across the country. It is also a good resource to check if the site that you're on is legitimate. Amazon is preparing to fight back on fake ordering crimes that lead people to hand over sensitive information. Amazon says shoppers should be on the watch for fraudulent purchase alerts on popular tech products or fake shipping confirmations that claim payment is required. This year, they're ramping up security by using machine learning AI on orders, insurance specialists, and more secured email capabilities to ensure safe shopping. During the holidays, many people tend to give back and donate money. And scammers take advantage. They start by setting up fake charities and pocketing what you give. Experts advise that when you donate to a nonprofit, always pay with a credit card or check and keep a record of the payment to ensure you're only charged the amount you agreed. And you should never feel pressured.
First and foremost, when you go onto their website, they should have their finances like very up in front. You should easily be able to find they have a financial tab or annual report.
It's also important to check how much of your donation goes to those in need instead of those running the organization. Experts recommend donating to nonprofits where at least 70 cents per dollar goes to the cause. An increase in stolen SNAP benefits raising concern for Oklahomans this holiday season. Our state's Department of Human Services says they have recently received about 17,000 requests for assistance from those who've been affected by the theft. It's an increase the agency says it has never seen before. Fox 25's Paige Taylor has got your back with the steps SNAP recipients should take right now to help protect their accounts.
Stolen SNAP benefits. It's an issue plaguing thousands of Oklahomans, including Kennedy Moore. She says in October she saw a deposit had been made, but about $600 had already been spent by someone other than her.
So that whole day I went around driving to multiple food pantries trying to find me and my kids food, but everyone else had already beat me because they just had the same problem early in the morning.
Moore says she has been in contact with DHS but hasn't had her benefits replaced just yet.
It is super hard because I am solely on my income only, like my income only. I do everything for my kids.
SNAP benefits can be stolen through skimming, cloning, or phishing. The Oklahoma Department of Human Services is asking SNAP customers to change their PIN and lock their cards to protect their benefits.
We do have the feature to lock that card, and that just means that card is not able to be used. So the functionality of it is locked, and we recommend that it's locked everywhere. There's an option to lock only out of state, but we recommend that someone locks that everywhere so that card can't be used at all.
Benefits are being stolen at high rates across the nation and in the Sooner State. Amy Roberts says stolen benefits are typically replaced within 10 days.
We saw an increase last year, just a very small increase last year. What we have seen since September, we have never seen before. This is fraud at a level that is just honestly quite overwhelming, and it was unexpected to see those kind of numbers.
Roberts says the agency will be rolling out chip cards in early to mid 2025, which should help decrease the chance for benefits to be stolen.
We're the second state to do this. California has a little bit of a head start on us, so they will be the first ones to actually use that chip card technology. But Oklahoma is the second state in the nation to get that chip card technology in place.
Paige Taylor, Fox 25 News.
If your SNAP benefits are stolen, DHS says to call them to start the process of replacing them. The deadline to have benefits replaced has been extended to December 20th. And that was your big story breakdown tonight.